Barach, Shabbat Shalom, Purim Sameach, Purim Katan Sameach. It is Purim Katan. We are 30 days away from the big lights, the big holy lights of Purim. It's coming soon upon us. Be'ezrat Hashem Yitbarach. We're going to be learning today a little bit about the Parashat Tetzaveh, according to Rabbi Natan and Breslev and Likutei Halachot. And Be'ezrat Hashem, we're going to be talking about the pasuk that says Shemen Zayd Zach Katit Lema'or, pure olive oil, virgin olive oil that is crushed perfectly for the lighting of the menorah. And it goes like this. It's known that all of the measurements of the Torah when it comes to eating, they are measured in what's called a kazait. Kazait is the measure of an olive, which is classically 28 grams. All of the measures of eating comes down to a kazait. Once you eat a kazait, once you eat that much amount of bread, you have to make a last bracha achona. וכן לעניין ברכת המזון, ברכה האחרונה, השיעור הוא בכזית. כי זית שמן הוא מורה על בחינת הגוף ונפש, שהם בחינת שכחה וזיכרון. The olive and the olive oil is a hint to the body and to the soul, which is the aspect of forgetfulness and memory. כי איתה שזיתים הם מביאים לשכחה. It's known that it's taught in the Gemara that olives can cause forgetfulness. But the oil that comes out of the olive is the opposite. It helps a person's memory. Right? Shemen is this auspicious thing, has a mystical power that can help your olive oil, can help your memory. So from this, Rabbi Natan is coming to teach us that the olive and the olive oil that is inside of it is this hint towards memory and forgetfulness, which is the aspects of the body and the soul. Obviously, the soul being memory and the body being forgetfulness. Forgetting Hashem. If you put too much emphasis on the body, you forget from Hashem. If you put your emphasis on the soul, then you're always in God consciousness. The body. The soul, which is this aspect of memory, that is the aspect of Torah, which is the aspect of consciousness, the consciousness of Moshe Rabbeinu. Therefore, all of the measures of the Torah, they are in what's called a kazait, in this measurement of an olive. Because the Torah, which is the aspect of the nefesh, of the soul, is this aspect of memory. This is the aspect of the olive oil that's inside the olive. This is the aspect of like the olive oil which is hidden inside of the olive, so too there is this memory that is hidden within this aspect of lack of memory, of the opposite of forgetfulness, which is the aspect of the soul that is inside the body. Right? So too, that is the memory inside the forgetfulness, the soul inside the body. How is the only way that you can get the olive oil to come out of the olive? It is by way of the aspect of breaking it down. Breaking down that olive. You have to crush the olive in order to get the oil out of it. You break it down, you grind it, you put it in the mill in order to break out all of that olive oil and to break down the fruit in order to remove the juice, the oil that's inside there. So too, if you have this same example inside of you, inside your makeup, where you have a body which is the aspect of the olive, and you have a soul which is the aspect of the neshama, the olive oil, how can you get out? How can you amplify the revelation of the oil inside of you? Shemen is the letters neshama. How can you get that olive oil out of your being? It has to only be by way of breaking down and suppressing and putting down the body. By way of you putting down your body, meaning not putting so much emphasis on your body, not eating whenever you feel like eating, not doing whatever it is that you feel like doing with your body, but rather doing what's right for your soul, using your body for the sake of your soul, then you will be subduing and pushing down the physicality, and you nullify and subdue all of the forgetfulness. Then the light of the soul, that olive oil that brings light to the world, that is what's revealed. And that's the Torah, and that is memory. From within the body, from within the forgetfulness. Your soul can only have a place in this world by way of it being inside of a body. But now that body is forgetfulness and the soul is memory. How do we reveal the memory that's hidden inside the forgetfulness? By way of breaking down the body, by way of putting down less emphasis on the body. Once you put more emphasis on your soul, which is the Torah, which is memory, then there will be less power for your body to rule over, and there will be more of a revelation of memory and less forgetfulness in the world. Like the rabbi said in Masechet Brachot in the Gemara, the Torah can only exist inside of a person who kills himself over it, meaning who breaks his back to learn Torah, who pushes against all of his desires and against all of his bodily wills and desires that he has, and rather he goes inside the spirituality of life and he puts his body second, and he puts the emphasis on all of the Kedusha. When a person is able to kill himself over the Torah, meaning to stay alive, but alive with your neshama, and to put down the body, and to make everything about Torah, that is who the Torah will exist in and stay established inside. A person has to kill himself over Torah to bring him to a point where his whole entire body is being put down in order to make sure that the Torah will stay alive inside of him, putting more emphasis on the soul and less on the body. Obviously, chas v'chalila, to say that this means to kill yourself mamash, really it doesn't. Obviously it means to put more of an emphasis on the soul and less of an emphasis on the body. Once you do that, and you can put the body second and the soul first, then there will be a revelation of Torah, of soul, of memory. This is the aspect of what the Parasha says in Shmot, in this week's Parasha, in Parashat Tetzaveh, that we have shemen zait, we have olive oil, zach, purified, katit, meaning it was broken down from as much as possible, the best drops that could come out of the olive, la ma'or, for illumination, for the lights. This is what's taught in the Zohar. When you don't have a light coming out of the wick, you break it down. So too, when you have a body that's not illuminating the soul, so too you have to break down the body a little bit to get that olive oil out, to get that light coming out. So olive and oil, that is the aspect of body and soul. Therefore, all of the measures of the Torah are in what's called a kazait, a measure of a kazait, the size of an olive. Because all of the mitzvahs, all of the commandments of the Torah are specifically by way of body and soul, which is olive and olive oil. Specifically when the soul is engarmented inside the body, that is specifically when you can keep the Torah. That's exactly when you're able to have Torah in this world. That's the main aspect of keeping the Torah. The main aspect of a relation of the Torah is down here in this lower realm. It's specifically when the soul is inside a body. Specifically when we're experiencing life down here and we're a soul inside of the body, but we put more of an emphasis on our soul and less on our body. That is specifically how the Torah is meant to be kept in this world. This is the principle that we're taught in Kohelet, Ecclesiastes, that says that the light has more of a power, is more powerful and more beneficial when it's specifically coming out of the darkness. There's a loftier side of the light when it is coming out of darkness. Just to wrap up this idea, as a short idea to take us into the parasha and to really to guide us through our whole entire life, that Hashem created a world where we will have a godly soul inside a physical body. So too, if we look at nature, we see that there's an olive oil. Olives are taught, we're taught about olives that they cause forgetfulness. Olive oil is a enhancer for your memory. This is what the Baal Shem Tov classically said, that if you want to have olives, you have to first things first, you have to pour olive oil over them. Meaning anytime you want to eat olives, you should pour olive oil onto them. The olive causes forgetfulness, the olive oil causes memory. You mix them two together, it nullifies itself out, and it could be even to a point where you can eat the olive with the olive oil, and it actually enhances, instead of just being leveled, it actually enhances your memory. Like you have this aspect of forgetfulness inside the olive and memory inside the olive oil, so too this is our body and our soul. Our body is the aspect of forgetfulness, forgetting Hashem and the Torah and putting emphasis on this world and going according to what we see with our flesh and with our eyes. And our soul is constantly clinging to Hashem and trying to cling to Hashem. But the only way that we could exist and keep the Torah, like it's known that the Chachamim teach us that we have 613 parts to our body, and we have 613 parts to our spiritual makeup, and there are 613 commandments in the Torah. It is specifically by way of the Torah and its 613 commandments and parts to it that we are able to make a unification between our soul that has 613 parts and our body that has 613 parts. We need the Torah in order to make this unification. So that means that we can only make this unification in the right way and keep the Torah in its proper sense when we have a soul inside of our body. But in order to get that light out, in order to get that olive oil out, so that our soul should be the what's illuminating, like in the menorah, like when we had a menorah, that the menorah was illuminating light constantly. How do we get that light out there? It is by way of what we do to the olive. The olive, in order to get its oil out, we have to break the olive. We have to break down the olive and to remove all of the extract, so to say, all of the higher level of the olive, which is the olive oil. So too with our body. If we're always putting an emphasis on our body and eating what we want and sleeping as much as we want and doing whatever it is that we want physically, according to our physical desires, our soul will be subdued and it won't be able to come out. We're putting an emphasis on the olive and not on the oil that could come out of it. And when we put more of an emphasis on the oil and we break down the body, meaning that we put less effort in what it is that we give into our bodily needs, our eating, our sleeping, our drinking, or whatever it might be, our bodily pleasures and this world desires, then we are starting to break down the body. And like we said, that the Torah can only exist in a person that does this. A Torah can only exist in a person that kills himself over it, meaning that they put all of their effort in subduing their physical life that they have and emphasizing their spiritual life and revealing the neshama that is there. And B'ezrat Hashem, may we all be successful to unify this. And this is specifically a deep message for Purim. It is Purim Katan. And in Purim, it's known that Purim was specifically the rabbinical holiday that focused on the spirituality, on the physicality, sorry. We have Chanukah, which is the counterpart in Hod of the Netzach of Purim. And in Chanukah, we focus on the inner aspects. The Greeks, they didn't want to kill us. It wasn't a genocide. They just said, hey, don't learn Torah. Don't believe that there's mitzvahs. Don't believe that there is a spiritual reality to this world. Focus only on the physicality. And therefore, on Chanukah, the rabbis instituted that we light candles. We light olive oil and we reveal the spirituality that is inherent, the spark of Hashem that makes everything exist in this world. But on Purim, the rabbis instituted that we eat and we give gifts and we give money and we get drunk and we focus on the physicality. Why? Because it is specifically then, with the physicality, with the soul inside the body, that we can bring the full aspect of the Torah into this world. That is the whole entire purpose. To have a soul that is inside a body in this physical world and to reveal godliness from here. This is the whole entire point and this is our job. B'ezrat Hashem, may we be successful in doing this for our whole entire lives. Specifically now in the end of the year, where we have to be in our body and to do actions and to finish off the year with spirituality and illuminate ourselves outwards. Amen. Keni Yiratzon.